Well, everyone, welcome to our first setup in the gallery. We have got this 75 gallon that you can't see, but trust me, it's right behind us here. Finally got the stand up, got the tank pretty clean, at least as clean as it needs to be before we start scaping the stuff. We have got a light on there. We'll talk about that later. We've got some really cool fish coming up. What are we doing first?
We have to locate rocks that are similar to each other.
And substrate, and we all know that that is my expertise, so let's take a look. So this is the tote that we are going to be pulling from. It's mostly, what would you say, mountain stone, Seiriu stone, kind of mix, so it's kind of got that gray, light gray, partially somewhat white rocks. So that's the rock that we're looking at. We're going to kind of sort through that and get some like-minded pieces, correct?
Correct. No.
Are we using anything from over here? This is more of the river stone. It's a little bit smoother.
Probably not.
Okay, so we're going to stay with this more dangerous looking rock. And we've also got to figure out the substrate, but I'll show you that in a minute. All right, so the scape is basically done. This is what we were going for, and that's the high-end scape look. No, I'm just kidding. So what Joanna did is she kind of marked out the general idea. And so that's the reason for the lines in just one bag of substrate right now. That's kind of what we're doing with the rocks. This is going to be a Lake Tanganyika setup, and so we're going to have a combination of shell dwellers, rock dwellers, and cyprichromis in this tank. So we're going to have to leave some swimming space. If there's any plants in here, it's going to be extraordinarily light. It's not a biotope. We were thinking about doing a biotope, and we just don't have the desire necessarily to do it 100% biotope, because I also want this thing to be really awesome looking as well. So in a way that I think is cool. So that's kind of where we're at right now. Okay, so here is the tank. Put some rocks in here. All right, technically speaking, I did the rocks, so you can't blame Joanna if this scape is not what you expected. I basically did this more or less on my own. She provided a couple of suggestions, and this is what we came up with. These are the rocks that we used and the sand. The question now is, do we plant it? I don't know. So if I were going to put any plants in here, I'd probably do something easy like crypts. The issue is going to be the shell dwellers. They're going to, of course, the Similis, although they don't dig like the Maltese do and they don't rearrange the tank the way the Maltese do, they are going to move some sand around, and I have to let them be able to do that. So if we did anything, I think with crypts, they'd have to be towards the back. There's a lot more sand back here than there is up front. So that's the one thing that's missing as well, and quite frankly, it's going to change the look of this aquarium. Once we start putting in all the shells for the shell dwellers, that's just the way it's going to be. And yeah, so now we just have to figure out if this is where what we want to do, and then start getting the water in, get the filtration up and running, and think about when we're going to put the fish in. All right, so it is the next day, and right now I am slowly filling this tank. So this is the exciting part. Once the tank is filled, I'll get the filtration up and running. And then the next step after that is to get the fish in. One of the things that we're going to be doing is I'm going to be packing out the filtration with the fully cycled sponge filters that are coming from the tanks that housed the fish previously. So we're going to have at least 3 or 4 sponges in the filtration system that are going to be hopefully have plenty of beneficial bacteria for the stocking levels. And of course, I will add in some Fritzzyme 7 as well, just to make doubly sure that we've got plenty of beneficial bacteria in here for the fish that are going in. All right, so here we go. That is the next step. The next step was to get the water in. It's in. Now I'm going to get the filtration up and running, and I think we're ready to add fish. All right, everybody, so we are going to pour in the Similis. There's a little bit more than I thought there would be, and we'll get the shells in here pretty soon as well. So there they go. Those are the shell dwellers. And as you can expect, they are going to head right towards the rocks right now, and that's why I wanted you to see them go in, because they're going to basically try to hide right now. It's a new place for them. So we just emptied out the Similis tank. That is the Neolarmpologus similis. And we're going to go ahead and add one of the bristlenose plecos from the Similis tank. This is a super red, so he's going to be pretty awesome. Let's get him out of the container, and there he goes as well. He's shining pretty bright. All right, so here's the first of the rather large Geliochromis ornatus. We're about to add some color, so go ahead Eli's gonna dump these bad boys in. They love to jump, so if you ever get the rock dwellers like these guys, so you can see that beautiful yellow color. And we're gonna go ahead and get the next batch. There are actually some babies in there too. We'll see how they do because they look a little bit smaller now than they did when they were in the tank by themselves. So we'll see what the simless do. And we're going to add one more super red bristlenose to the tank because you know what? It's a 75 gallon, why not? Alright, this is the last addition to this tank for today. And that's going to be the Cyprichromis leptosoma. These are going to be our open water swimmers. The rest of them are hanging around on the rocks and the substrate. Go ahead, Eli, and put these guys in. They are going to want to jump right out of there. And like I said, these are the open water guys. This is going to offer us a little bit more color as well. The males are the fish that you see that are blue with the yellow tails. The females will be more silver. You can actually see one of those females is actually holding eggs, and so pretty soon we're going to have even more of these guys in this tank. And so that is the final addition for this tank. And like I said, the reason we're able to add all these fish is I've got 3 cycled sponge filters in the filtration plus a whole lot of Fritzheim 7. I don't anticipate too many problems. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about this tank. This is the first fish tank set up in the gallery, and this was something I've been wanting to do for a while. Take some of my favorite Lake Tanganyika fish, put them all in one place, and really give them an awesome setup. Now, as I've said, I got to put the shells in here still. I got to go in the fish room and find out where I put the shells, but I have bags of shells, new shells that I will put in here for the simless that will get them and draw them out of the rocks, which is going to be really important for making sure that this aquarium really does fit all the inhabitants' needs. And so what I've done here is basically 3 things. I've got the simless, the shell dwellers. They will have the shells, the Julichromis ornatus. Those fish will have the rocks, and then the Cyprichromis leptosoma will be swimming once they get more settled in. They're going to be swimming all throughout the aquarium in the open water. Now the other thing I did is I added a couple super red bristlenose plecos as well. They're going to be in charge of algae control, particularly on the glass. Plenty of rocks here for all the fish to feel comfortable. Now again, the reason we were able to add so many fish is I've got 3 fully cycled sponge filters in the canister below the tank. So basically I took one of the large sponge filters from each one of these aquariums, stuck it in the canister filter, put a whole bunch of Fritzheim 7 in there as well. So I don't anticipate too many issues with ammonia or nitrite spikes. There is a canister filter on this aquarium just because I need to keep the noise down. Eventually this fish tank will be used, or this area will be used for our live stream background, and so I can't have any bubbling sponge filters. I don't want a lot of hang-on backs with water that is running where you can hear that breaking the surface of the aquarium. And so that's why I chose this a canister filter for this particular aquarium. Now the light on this aquarium is awesome. I fell in love with these lights a couple aquashellos ago when they supplied the lights for the aquascaping competition in our booth. This is the Aqua Illumination LED blade light. Absolutely fantastic LED. It is fully programmable. You can program not only the time that it comes on, you can ramp it up, you can cool it down, you can change the color intensity. Pretty much you have full programmability in this light. If you want to check them out, check out the link for bulk reef supply down in the description below if you want to learn more about it. By the way, we've done species profiles for all the fish that we featured in this aquarium today, so if you want to learn more, check out the description below. We'll have the full species profiles for you there. So I'd love to hear your opinion down in the comments section below. This, like I said, is aquarium number 1 that's going up in the aquarium gallery. We still have 2 more 125s, the 50-gallon lowboy, and another 75-gallon aquarium that we're going to be putting up, all with a very different feel. Really appreciate you being here. We'll see you in the next one.